Who would have thought we'd see a NASCAR Truck Series regular defeat the best of the best NASCAR has to offer on the road courses? Hello, everybody. My name is Brody. Welcome into the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. We have a triple header weekend featured at Watkins Glen International. And to kick us off, we have the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And this race was completely filled with stars for the road course speciality. We had Connor Zilisch, Shane Van Gisbergen, AJ Allmendinger, even Brent Cruz from the O'Reilly Series, all featured in this race, and plus Ross Chastain. So every single top road course racer was in this Truck Series race, going head to head with the Truck Series regulars. And the finish of this race, the eventual winner, completely surprised me. I did not expect to see this winner, to see this type tier of driver enter victory lane with such a star-studded field. So we're going to dive in. We're going to discuss everything that happened. We're going to begin with the finish, how the newest winner in the Truck Series got to victory lane and defeated all of these road course ringers. And then we'll cover my drivers of the day, followed by my what the F driver of the race, where we will discuss the overtime finish and all the cautions that led to the overtime finish in this race. So we'll discuss all that. Then we'll jump into the race results, highlighting each and every driver who had a standout performance or a bad day. And then we'll wrap and close with my final verdict and opinions of this race. So let's dive into the first of 3 races this weekend, or actually 4 races. There was an ARCA race, which I'll get into a bit later. But anyways, let's dive into this NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race review. So the end of this Truck Series race at Watkins Glen featured a plethora of cautions, and all of these cautions staggered, compounded, and led us to a NASCAR overtime finish at Watkins Glen. So to set the stage here, we have Connor Zilisch on the front row, leading us to the green, who absolutely dominated this race. And to his inside is Caden Honeycutt in the number 11, who took over for Corey Heim in this truck. Corey Heim won all of these races, and yet Caden Honeycutt remains winless. And he's very hard on himself, and he has been hard on himself because he knows what this truck is capable of and what this truck has done with a different driver. So he knows he has big shoes to fill, and he knows he has the talent to get it done. So heading off into turn 1, heading down to turn 1 off the straightaway, Caden Honeycutt put it out there all on the line and made a bold move. So we take the green flag, Connor Zilisch on the outside, Caden Honeycutt on the inside. Zilisch took the outside, which with this new restart zone NASCAR made, it's pretty much whoever just gets the better jump who takes the lead heading off into turn 2. But basically, Caden Honeycutt said, I don't care what the statistics say. I don't care what the replays show of previous restarts. I'm on the inside lane, and I'm going to get my first career win. So he sends it off into turn 1, and he just lays a little bump to Connor Zilisch in his right rear quarter panel, which gets Zilisch just a little bit loose, has to correct it, goes off onto the curbing there, and does not have enough momentum to keep up with the 11 of Caden Honeycutt. And sure enough, Caden Honeycutt is able to clear Zilisch before they get to the S's. And that was it. I'm not going to cover the last lap, 2 laps. That was it. Caden Honeycutt led those laps, and that was it. And Caden Honeycutt in the 11 for Tricon Garage, a familiar truck in victory lane, gets back into victory lane, but for the first time with Caden Honeycutt, who finally gets to shotgun that beer with the fans in the crowd. Super emotional post-race. He defeated Shane Van Gisbergen, Connor Zilisch, AJ Allmendinger, Brent Cruz. He defeated all of them, went toe-to-toe, and he led the most important lap, which was the final lap. Caden Honeycutt gets it done at Watkins Glen. Goes back-to-back, actually, because I mentioned earlier, ARCA was there, and he won the ARCA race earlier on Friday. And he comes back later, same day, and wins the truck race. Gets a first career win in ARCA, first career win in trucks. Very good day for Caden Honeycutt, and I'm super happy for him. I mean, he's been extremely hard on himself for not getting the victory lane thus far in the 11 truck, but he's been running very competitively, and he has been first in the points, and now he just extends his point lead even further over Chandler Smith in 38. He is now 29 points ahead of second place in the points. So he's leading the chase, gets his first career Truck Series win, and it's been very, very competitive. So Caden Honeycutt, he's very hard on himself, but yet he is probably the best driver in the Truck Series right now with the fastest truck, and he's proving that week in, week out. So I'm very happy for Caden Honeycutt. Did a wonderful job, a perfect job. That was the perfect move to get a win. That was not wrecking the guy, not wrecking Connor Zilch whatsoever, not bumping him so egregious that he spins out or loses a bunch of spots and it leads to controversy. That is how you do it. That is how you know, okay, the guy to my outside, he's definitely faster than me. If he ever gets to the lead, I'm not going to pass him. So I'm going to hold nothing back. I'm going to just boop him. He's going to boop him in the right rear quarter panel. And that was it. That was enough for Caden Honeycutt. Congratulations, getting his first career Truck Series win. Super feel good. Super good to see. I'm very happy for everybody at the 11 team for taking on this new driver, taking a chance on Kane Honeycutt, and Kane Honeycutt proving all the doubters wrong, proving himself right that he has the talent and has the skills behind the wheel. So once again, congratulations to Caden Honeycutt on getting his first career NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series victory. Let's just move on to my drivers of the day now, because these cautions at the end of this race put a lot of feel-good drivers in the top 10. Let's begin with Daniel Hemrick, who finished in the 4th position. He took the gamble in stage 1, stayed out, won the stage, got those stage points, but you guys know what that means at road courses. You have to start in the back behind all the guys who flip the stage. So Hemrick kind of make his way forward. It was very hard to pass, especially with all these road course ringers in the field. He has a lot of competitive trucks to pass, yet he still works his way forward consistently and gets into the top 5 and finishes in 4th position. So gets 4th place points and that stage 1 victory. Very good for Daniel Hemrick. Very happy to see that. Next, I do want to give a shout out to Brent Cruz, who put on a show. And I thought at one point early in stage 1, he had the dominant truck. He had the truck to beat. But once Zilch got up there and passed him, after a little bit of contact, several times actually, he ends up passing Brent Cruz. And after that, Brent Cruz, without the clean air, and I think he lost the handling on his truck towards the end of the race, just really never made his way back forward. So despite all that, I think Brent Cruz deserves a driver of the day because he's not a full-time Cup Series driver. He's a full-time O'Reilly Series driver, and he put on a show in the Truck Series, trying to get his first career Truck Series win. Almost got it, and I think the win is coming in NASCAR, in the top 3 divisions of NASCAR for sure. So Brent Cruz, want to give him a shout-out driver of the day because he put on a great performance at the Glen, and I thought he really did have a truck to win. He won the pole, and he led 19 laps early on in the race, so he is very competitive, very fast. Shout out to Brent Cruz. Let's close out my drivers of the day with 2 Ram drivers. That's right, 2 Ram drivers. And we had 3 Ram drivers in the top 10. A great day for Ram. I've been critical of Ram, but they put on a great performance at Watkins Glen. It didn't look like it early on. We had some spins by Mini Tyrell spinning out Chris Wright, and other instances, Corey LaJoy spinning out guys. Nothing's changed. But anyways, we got 2 young drivers in the top 10. AJ Allmendinger, expect that. Great job. But Mini Tyrell and Brendan Queen, I want to give those guys a driver of the day because they started 30th and 29th, made their way forward, didn't have the fastest trucks, definitely, but play the cards right, play the strategy right, survived all the chaos in the end, and gets top 10s, a pair of top 10s for these young drivers who have a lot to prove. And with a Ram program that has frankly been very struggling, I've been very critical of Ram, but today at Watkins Glen, they put on a great performance. So shout out to Ram, shout out to Mini Tyrell, Brendan Queen, AJ Allmendinger. Great performance at the Glen. So my what the F driver of the race is a scope of the entire sequence that took place with 14 laps to go. So it is the entire Truck Series field because we could not make more than a few laps at a time, which set us up for this overtime finish, which was great. But, I mean, once we hit 14 laps to go, Grant and Fingwer stopped on the track. Then we got another caution. Hocevar got spun out by AJ Allmendinger. And then we got another caution. We got tire bundles going everywhere. And then Ross Chastain, who was just leading the race a few laps ago, he gets taken out. So much happened in the last 14 laps to go. Honestly, the last 14 laps of this race felt like when you're in an online NASCAR lobby in a video game and you're having stage races on and you just want to get to the end of the race, so you start spinning people out to get cautions. Like you take out 3 laps, chunks of laps out at a time, so you get to the 2 laps finish, just make it to the white flag, and then you can bring out another caution and the race is over. And that's kind of what it felt like. These guys were just like, get out of my way, caution. So many cautions, so sloppy, quite frankly. So it was not a very great end to the finish. But I know you guys are probably thinking the tire bundles, the tire bundle wreck, and specifically, I'm going to cover my thoughts and opinions of the tire bundles, the new runoff tire packs that line the exit of the carousel and turn one. I will cover all that in my Cup Series race review, just so I'm not repeating myself for the trucks and the O'Reilly and so on. So I'm just gonna say it one time in the Cup Series race review. So if you're looking for that coverage, my opinions, some honest thoughts, because I have some honest thoughts, I have some ideas we can do instead of it. But that'll happen in the Cup Series race review. But anyways, so the what the F drive of the race is the entire Truck Series field because we could not keep it green. We could not keep it green. We have Cup Series drivers wrecking Cup Series drivers in a truck race. Like AJ, Hocevar, what are we doing? Like, come on. Chastain, come on. Despite all that, we still got a great, compelling finish and a brand new first time winner. So I guess it has its perks, but last 14 laps of this race was it's just sloppy, just sloppy. So the what the F driver of the race is everybody. Everybody collectively gets it. And I do want to harp on really quickly before we move seconds. Can just add on to the what the F driver of the race. The 45 Ross Chastain and the 17 and 00 both got hit with restart violations because they left a bit too soon. They jumped the start, but the 17 I feel really bad for because you can't really see the line, and that's why they both got busted. But 00 specifically, even NASCAR apparently apologized to him, like, okay, we got it wrong, or the line, you can't see the line. Feel really bad for the 17 because he had a shot to win, had a great start, bested Zilich, but got hit with that restart violation. And Chastain was more clear, but once he got the restart violation, he was put back in the hornet's nest, and he really felt that later on when he was involved in that caution. So a lot happened. A lot happened with 14 to go. But anyways, all right, that's enough of the what the F drive of the race. Let's move on to the race results. All righty, here's your top 10. Let's begin with some Cup Series regulars. Connor Zilich had the fastest truck, was the fastest driver of the day, but got bested by Caden Honeycutt, who just made an ambitious move, and it worked out for him. So Connor Zilich can't hang your head. Led his first ever laps in a truck this race. Kind of shocking for how many trucks he's passed in the previous races he's ran. And Shane Van Gisbergen, who was running a Nice Motorsports entry, so definitely not what Zilich had as far as equipment wise, but he made the most of it. He started 8th and made his way up to finish in 3rd position, led 0 laps, but still, I think that's probably the best you're going to get out of a 4 Nice Motorsports entry. Made the most of it. So top 3 podium for the Cup Series regulars in Zilich and SVG. And let's give a brief shout out to Chandler Smith, he's just consistent. He's just very, very consistent. Gets a top 5 finish, maintains that 2nd place points position for the chase. Very good for Chandler Smith. Just quiet, do what you need to do type of day at Watkins Glen. And then AJ Allmendinger, we hit on him a little bit. He did spin out Hocevar at one point, but anyways, so AJ Allmendinger gets a 6th place finish. Well done. And let's end with Connor Mozak getting a top 10 finish in the 7 Spire truck. So decent outing for Connor Mozak, I should say. And now let's look at some outside of the top 10 drivers. And let's just start with Corey LaJoie. What was this, Corey? What are we doing? You raced in the Cup Series how many years? Let's not make these mistakes. We can't make these mistakes. This is why Corey LaJoie gets clowned on a lot. Like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know. Feel bad for Christian Eckes. Did not deserve that in the slightest. So, moving on now. Gio Ruggiero finishes top 15. Really should have finished top 5 easily. It's really unfortunate for Christian Eckes. And Christian Eckes, like I mentioned, did get a 16th place finish, but I think he deserved a better finish as well. And just scrolling down the list here, Lane Riggs was involved in that tire bundle incident. Just got wiped out. No fault of his own. Unfortunate outing for Lane Riggs. And let's touch on Thor Sport Racing. Ty Majeski had a bad day. He was running 2nd when he had a mechanical issue. Set him back. Finishes 24th. Scrolling down a little bit more to his teammate Ben Rhodes, who had a transmission issue very early on. He was out, and Cole Butcher had an issue on a restart, got taken out, slapped in the inside wall. He's out, finished 35th, so just a horrible day for Thor Sport Racing. I don't know what was going on, just bad mojo, bad vibes, bad everything. unfortunate outing for the entire Thor Sport group. And let's touch on Chris Wright, who was involved in two separate cautions today. Mini Tyrell did take him out in the first one, but I mean, he was playing bowling with the tire packs on the exit of turn one. I mean, he hit one and then two, bam, bam, like, all over the map. Chris Wright, just very bad day overall. And Grant Enfinger, unfortunate mechanical issue in the end there. Carson Hocevar got taken out as well. And Natalie Decker was in this race, apparently. Finishes last. So, anyways, that's my coverage of the race results. Let's dive into my overall opinions now. All right, for my overall thoughts and opinions of this race, I think it was your standard Watkins Glen Truck Series race. I am very surprised at how it shaped out with the winner, of course. I mean, you have Connor Zilic, AJ Allmendinger, SVG, Chastain, all of them up there in the top 10, leading the race, or in the top 5, top 3. And yet still, Kane Honeycutt beats them all. And he leads the most important lap, the last one, and gets the win. So I did not expect that whatsoever, but kind of feel good surprise in a way. I mean, when you look at the lineup, you have SVG, Connor Zilic, you expect them to win, and they're in the O'Reilly race, they're in the Cup Series race, and they dominate respectively those races. Coming to the trucks, it seems to be a bit different. I mean, I think the truck seems to be harder to get a grasp on for these O'Reilly guys and these Cup Series guys. Jumping in a truck seems a bit harder than an O'Reilly car. I don't know what the reason being. It does drive a lot differently, but you can see that Zilic wasn't his most dominant self like he is in an O'Reilly car, and SVG definitely wasn't his dominant self like in an O'Reilly car or a Cup Series car. That is probably because he's in Nissan Motorsport equipment, but still, you do expect SVG to be up there, top 3 the entire race. He kind of wasn't. He was around 8th place most of the day, but winds up getting a podium finish. So much happened in a short amount of time, but it was predictable at the start with who was winning the race, who was leading the race. I was very happy to see Brent Cruz up there. When I saw Brent Cruz was in the lineup, I thought, okay, I think we're going to see a Connor Zilic, Brent Cruz battle. We did get that, and I thought SVG would be up there more. But in the end, it was Connor Zilic, Ross Chastain, and Kane Honeycutt. And Kane Honeycutt emerges victorious out of all of them. Still so shocked about that. Other notes, think it was a solid race overall. I think the broadcast is the broadcast. You guys know I've harped on this many times, many occasions. It needs work. It needs work. I don't think I need to go into that much more. Watch any Truck Series race review. I have concerns about the booth, about the commercials, about the camera work. All of it needs work because we have great racing. It just needs to be highlighted better and capitalized on better and amplified better by everybody involved. But that's me rambling. That's me just being overly passionate about what I want the average viewer to view some of the best racing we get in NASCAR. So, alrighty, that's enough for me in this race review. I want to know your thoughts and opinions of this race down below in the comments. What do you think of the eventual race winner, besting all of the road course ringers? What do you think of this video, of this race review? I want to know all your thoughts down below in the comments. If this is your first time at this channel, please feel free to like, share your thoughts, opinions about this video, and please feel free to subscribe. One more subscriber means we have one more NASCAR race fan joining the community here on the channel. And that's why I made this channel for race fans like you guys. This is your first time here. I do Truck Series race reviews, O'Reilly Series race reviews, Cup Series race reviews. I do NASCAR discussions, breaking news, all of it. All of it can be found right here. So if you are new, feel free to subscribe and continue to join the community and check out all the other content I have. But anyways, guys, I'll leave you with this. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, have a great, wonderful, and even splendid rest of your day. See ya.